Hey there, greetings everyone, and welcome to CyberCast IRL. It is that time once again for us to meet together, have some fun, talk some cyber, and just support each other and enjoy each other's company. It is Friday, September the 26th, for those of you keeping score at home. I'm your host, Daniel Lowry. For those of you that are new, maybe just lurking and hanging out, if you are new, throw it in the chat. Let us know, hey, just found this thing. What's going on here? What's this all about? Well, let me tell you. First of all, we talk cyber. We're all about that cybersecurity life. So if you're looking for that, you've come to the right place. I'm just going to go ahead and throw it down there because we love that topic. It is our favorite thing that we kind of we make an account and a point to get at every single week right here with you. So yes, Christopher Young says #motivate. Does sound like a great thing. Let's motivate each other, support each other. That's what this is all about. Now, of course, this is called IRL. I want your real life takes. I want your real life opinions. This is where you get to come and go, you know what? I can't stand this about cybersecurity, or I love this about cybersecurity. I know this is an unpopular opinion, but this is where you get to voice those opinions, have those things. Or if you just want to talk to me about something, maybe you have a question, you think maybe I can answer it for you. I hope that I can. That's another thing that we do here, a little bit of an AMA. We talk about cyber topics that are in the news or things that we can do around jobs, all sorts of stuff. This is where we come together to try to make that happen and hopefully get you the information that you need. And maybe you can do the same for somebody else in the chat and that's watching. That's what it's all about. So I will say, if you are looking to get my attention to say, hey, Daniel, I've got a question, or hey, did you see this? That's great. I love that stuff. That's what we have chat for. That's really the reason I started this whole show. And if you want to make that happen, well, you got to jump in the chat and you got to my name. It makes it easy for me to see. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Right here, we can see the chat going crazy, which I love. And looks like we're getting raided by Team SC, Sierra Montgomery, as so aptly said. But like, look at Code Brew. Happy Friday, Wayne's Real World, and at Daniel Lowry. You see how that jumps out and shows my name really easily. You're not, what am I doing? You're in YouTube. You've used YouTube before. That's what's going on. But I'm just letting you know that makes it really easy for me to see whatever you got. Like Carrie Chasen says, hear about the pancakes when they got mad? They flipped out. Carrie, you nut. You nut. We love it, right? So we got some really good chat going on. Got some great people. Let's check in with chat, actually. We got Rhonda Rummerfield already showing up. Obviously, Wayne's Real World. By the way, if I miss a comment or something that you're trying to get my attention on, Wayne is there kind of batting clean up. His job, his official, unofficial job is to moderate and go, hey, Daniel, you're kind of missing this. So-and-so is trying to get your attention, and he'll make sure to spam me to make sure, or at least attempt so that I can see that you got something going on you want me to see. All right, Random X is in the house. FedEx, what's up, brother? The Pain. Chris Young, we love Chris Young. He's in the house. Red, dang, got to run. BRB. Well, we'll see when you get back. Victor Rosa, also there. Christopher Ryan Rains, a friend of the show, an ally, a colleague. Luke Canfield, having a rough week, but still standing strong. Good to have you here, brother. And you can see we had some pre-show banter going on. We always get in here about 15 minutes early to start kind of warming up. What are we going to talk about? What's going on? Say our hellos, sip our cups of whatever caffeinated beverages that we have. Chris Young does have a thing here I just happened to see, typing up a resume and heard Mr. Lowry read my comment. I almost typed his reading my comment into my resume. That's funny. I have done that exact thing. So that's very funny. LeGrat showing up. Port Zero also. Monster Lord. Yeah, good morning to everyone. We got Sierra. We got Alice Grimm in the house. Amish Brain, I love it. TJ Williams showing up and showing out. Let's see here. Code Brew, Tech Grunt, my man, with the Daniel Lowry facts. Fun fact, Daniel Lowry is the master of monsters. If you don't believe me, check his Discord channel. That's exactly right. And Tech Grunt always has some really fun stuff that he does with AI-generated content. Very cool, very funny, very enjoyable. Thank you so much for doing that, Tech Grunt. We really appreciate what you put in. And that does bring up a really good point. If you want to join us when we're not doing this, we have a Discord channel. The link is in the description down below. So you just got to click that, join us, hangouts. We're always throughout the week at various and sundry times. You'll find someone in there talking about something. We got some really fun channels in there. If you're looking to learn about writing reports, we got to rate my report. You can submit a report. We can all take a look at it, give you some pointers, go, hey, this was really good, but you might want to try this or that. And you can do the same for other people. One of my favorites is the Daniel Lowry facts, whereas think Chuck Norris facts, but with me and tech related and cyber related. So it gets kind of funny. I thoroughly enjoy those. Everybody that's participating in that and doing that on a regular basis, I find so much enjoyment out of reading those facts. I really appreciate it because it can be a nice, like, I need a break and I'll go into Discord and read some Daniel Lowry facts. Super, super fun. Reusec is also announced. I just saw them pop in. All right. So now that we've got that out of the way, we also have one more tradition that we do every Friday. We got to start things off right, and we do that with a little tradition we call the morning pour. The morning pour, you say? What is this weird tradition of which you speak, Daniel? I'm glad you asked. It's where we grab the Lord's camo, which is woodland camouflage. It's the only acceptable camo in CyberCast. We kid, but we prefer it. It's preferred. Let's put it that way. But this is my cup of choice. I've long owned this cup, and it has served me well. Does a great job of keeping things cold and tasty. And then we grab a Monster energy drink. It is that time. That's right, Monster. Now, sometimes we do other things, but mostly this is a Monster show. Daniel loves his zero sugar Monsters, and I only drink one a week, and it is at this time. So everybody gets to enjoy me doing that, and we do a little ASMR thing where I'll move the cup out of the way. You guys taking bets on what color Monster I have today, which is always a fun thing to do. We got to get things going on. That's right. Luke Canfield says, M81, baby. That's what's up. That camo is the way to live. But what color Monster do you think I have today? I'll give you a few seconds. It does look tasty. It is sweating. It's cold. It's ready to rock. But shall we bring it into the episode? I think we shall. Today's episode is unofficially not sponsored. Or I guess that's a double neck. It is not sponsored by Monster Energy's Ultra Vide Guava. That's right. My wife got me a new case of Monster, and this was one of those that were in there. Has 3 different Monsters in it. We saw last week what was that one? It was super good, too. I forget. But this one looks to be pretty good. I love the colors on this one. I've had it before, but it's been a hot minute. So we're going to do that ASMR trick where we point the microphone in just such a right direction. Oh, we got to get the crack. Get the crack. You guys ready? Here we go. Oh, yeah. That was a good crack, baby. That was a weird sentence. Things got strange. All right, no, I need the mic that way. And then it's time for the pour. Pour, 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 pour. Okay, I can't make it. I have just a little bit left. I had too much ice. Oh, that's good. Oh, that good right there. Oh, man, it pulls the Wisconsin out of me every single time I drink this stuff. It's just so amazing. Oh, that's good stuff. Got to give it a tap. So what's funny is I've been having a little trouble. I got to make sure my cup is dry next time because the ice is releasing before and it's lifting. And it's making it difficult for me to get the whole pour in. So I think it's because I washed the cup the last couple of times we've done this. And the cup was wet. That the ice doesn't stick like it normally does. But man, that is a pink refreshing. Now what's funny is, the drink is pink, but the can is teal. So judges, should we allow both pink and teal or some variation thereof to be a correct guess? I think we shall. So if you guessed the can color correctly or the actual liquid of the Monster color correctly, you win the prize today, which is a pat on the back. Way to go. You're awesome. Boy, I do love that Monster. It is a tasty, yes, guava. And you got to say it like that. You can't just be like, oh yeah, I got a Monster guava. Yeah, no. I got Monster Energy, and it is Ultra Vide Guava. Right? Is it Vide or Vice? I'm sorry, Vice. That's some sweat on the can. That font does not work well. And my eyes, of course, are not the best thing in the world. All right. That was good stuff right there. That was a good pour, kids. I enjoyed that pour. Hopefully you did as well. let's get into the chat. Let's check in with chat and see if there's any questions, comments, and things. Let's start off the day just right. I do have a few things that we can go over today that I have teed up. So, but I'd like to get to you first. I put my audience above all, right? So let's get in there. Let's see what's going on. So let's scroll, looking for my name, Dreamlogic. Thank you. Thank you for joining us, Dreamlogic. Boogeyman checks his closet for Chuck Norris. And he checks his AV for me. Let's see here. Space Taco said I was unable to find that info on voice acting or audiobook narrating from my friend because he said Friends seems to have dropped off the edge of the universe. Hey, man, that does happen. I hate when that happens, but that does happen. I thank you for trying, though. I really appreciate that. We were talking last week about apparently I have a good voice. I don't know. I'm used to it, I guess. But throughout my life, I've constantly had people tell me, like, you have a very pleasing voice. And so we were saying I should get into voiceover and voice acting. And yeah, if anybody, I'm not opposed. So if anybody knows about getting into voice acting, let me know. Fun fact: Daniel Lowry's the master of monsters. Okay, cool. That we are caught up. So let's keep scrolling. We're good. Poor. You know it. And then Furious George. What's up, Andrew? Every week we look forward to seeing Daniel Lowry's mighty crack. You see, this is why I like doing this show. This is super fun. A mighty fine crack, says Phil Stafford. Yeah, put that on a t-shirt. It's going to be on my gravestone. I'll be like, here lies Daniel, a mighty fine crack. I say stuff like that every week. I don't care. What are you going to do, right? It's funny. It's fun. Likes to live dangerously, pouring close to the mic. I do. I'm an idiot. TechGrant says executes the salvage sip to complete the morning too. I had to, bro. It was so on the edge. I was afraid just the tremble of my own hand was gonna spill it onto the table. So I had to pull the parachute on that one. I'd pull the ripcord. Let's see, what else do we got here? Chris Young, this is why we're loyal. Mr. Lowry is a cyber pro for the people. You're darn right I am. I like watching everyone else succeed. It's funny. Kathy Chambers was on Jawjacking this morning, and she used to tell me all the time. She's like, we get so many things from people like that you've helped, and now they're like doing great things and have a great career. I was like, that's what I like. That's where I sit. That's what I want to do. And I love seeing you guys succeed. So anything I can do, and that's why I try to build stuff and have the YouTube and do things like this and go on Jawjacking and build courses so that you can use them to succeed. TechCrunch says I'm saving that for the Daniel Lowry facts. Good stuff here. Let's see here. I do see the Q on Carrie, so we'll pop it. Let's see here. Not computer related, since I am still doing computer skills. I have a project of setting up a small freezer and to install a good plug into the old house. Well, good luck with that. I don't like messing with electricity at the wire level, if you know what I mean. That stuff, I've had bad experiences. It gets a little crazy out there. Let's see. Your Furious George, great voice, face made for radio. Absolutely. That's exactly right. My face tells a story. Unfortunately, it's a horror story or a comedy. A tragedy, right? If I can get a voiceover gig for an insurance brochure, Daniel Lowry can too, I believe. Yeah. Just got to get in the right place, right? Oh, there's Alice Grimm with a, looks like to be a Daniel Lowry fact. Competes in the death-defying stunts event at risk-taking Olympics. Performs absurd stunts while blindfolded and bound. That's right, underwater. All right, let's keep going here. Alice Grimm's next year, Simply CyberCon will have Daniel Lowry CT up the Morning Pour Challenge. Oh, that could be fun. I should narrate audiobooks. I'm down with it. One last sip to become that savage monster. Made it back in time. Welcome back, Super User Dude. Glad to have you. And voice attached animation. Okay, better security practice, better Papa Dance. New catchphrase. So I said something about, I call myself like Papa Dan. I say kids all the time. Just it comes from being an actual father, I guess. And yeah, Tech Grunt made a lovely graphic where I was like Papa Dan's pizza, Papa John's, but Papa Dan's. Gary says he's still working on his research for A plus and Sec plus, and then a dose of the certs for Google. Since the school uses Google for everything, you should see the smart TVs. That's awesome, man. That's super awesome. Let's see here. FedEx question. You mentioned the Amazon computer for labs, but do you prefer VPC on the cloud? And if so, what do you recommend for the low dollar? Let me see. You mentioned Amazon. Right. So doing like EC2 instances, but do you prefer a VPC on the cloud? It just depends on what you're doing, honestly, FedEx. And you're probably hip to that too. It just depends, right? A lot of times what I'm doing is something like CloudGoat or whatever, or I'm just building something that I need internet-facing things, and it makes my life a whole lot easier to do it that way. And then if you're just typically when I'm recommending people to do stuff in Amazon, I guess I'll pull up close here. When I'm recommending people to do stuff on Amazon, it is more and I've recently was talking about this because someone was asking about my Pentest Plus course. Fun fact, kids, I have released a Pentest Plus course. It is in beta right now with Simply Cyber Academy. Look for it coming up next week. Jerry says it could be as early as Tuesday. So as soon as the beta testing is done, it will be released. So if you're looking to get some pen testing skills or you want to pass the Pentest Plus exam, I hopefully can help you out with that course. Going to start pumping it. Got to get it out there. It's going to be great for people that just want skills in the pen testing world. So if you're on the blue team, you're like, hey, I need to know a little bit more about this. My friend Diego was just telling me about that. He's like, yeah, I don't want to become a pen tester, but I want to take your course because I want to learn more about that because he's an AppSec. And he just want to pick up those skills to see how an attacker very well may kind of go through the what attack vectors could they go through and how do they exploit it. So yeah, putting that out there next week. Keep an eye out. So if you want to go Pentest Plus, it will be available for you next week in the Simply Cyber Academy. That said, getting back to what I was talking about is in that course, people are saying, hey, you're going to have hosted labs. I don't do that. And the reason is not because I don't want to give you hosted labs or take the time to go through all that stuff. I mean, it is a bit of a lift to make that happen. But there's a lot of meta learning. That's kind of what I've labeled it, is meta learning that happens when I make you kind of do it yourself. That is a skill set that you will thank me for later. They're like, oh, Daniel made me learn some Docker stuff because that's how I would spin up like Vampy to do API calls. And I had a system for doing API pen testing, to learn the API systems for API pen testing. I could do Crappy, I could do Vampy, and I had to be able to work with Docker to make all that work. And it gave me some hands-on experience. That's what I mean by meta learning, it's the learning that helps you learn what you need to learn, right? Or what you want to learn, if that makes sense. So same kind of thing with the AWS, where if I'm telling you to go into AWS and learn do this in AWS, it also gives you skills in AWS. You see, it's a 2-for-1 combo that everyone can enjoy, where you get to go, oh yeah, not only do I know about cybersecurity stuff, but I also know a bit about AWS Cloud or Azure or whatever it is that you're working in. So as far as money goes, I mean, they're all pretty competitively priced. I typically just stick to AWS just because it's what I know, it's what I like, I'm familiar with it. I mean, there's like Linode and other things that are out there that you can find that may have more competitive pricing if you're really looking for that. But the best way to stay on the cheap is to make sure that you shut stuff off and you destroy it when you're done, right? Don't just leave things hanging around if you don't need it, because that's going to cost you money. The good news is that with cloud, you only pay for what you use, and that typically does be very cheap. So like I've done some multiple CloudGoat environments throughout an entire month. I think the most I've spent is like $12 to $15. So it is a great way to, on the cheap, host things, do stuff, and spin things up. You can spin up Kali in AWS as an EC2 instance. You can do serverless. You can do all sorts of cool stuff, and you're getting all that hands-on. You work with the AWS CLI. You can pen test your own stuff. So if you put up a vulnerable thing and you set up the security groups just right so that only you can have access to them, you can pen test up into the cloud, and you can pen test your cloud environment itself. That's what you do with like CloudGoat from Rhino Security Lab. So great question. Let's go back. Alice Grimm. What do you like most about the new Kali update? All right, cool. Let's get into Kali, right? I am going to do a proper video on Kali, the new Kali version, and release that. But let's take a few moments, shall we, to kind of get into that, because I got something for you there. I got some. Bam! Look at that. We got Kali. It's the new version, because I knew we were going to talk about this. So here it is in all its many splendor. Now I did change the background because I don't know, like, whose idea that this is the standard background. I absolutely hate this background. I look at it and I want to go into an epileptic fit and become apoplectic at the same time. Epileptic. I want to become an epileptic apoplectic. Oh, looking at this, because it's just so busy and, like, I don't know. It's like, can you turn down your background? It's really loud. So I absolutely load that background. So I typically change to one of these. Don't get me wrong. This is the worst one. This is the worst background in Kali. I'm picking on Kali. I'm just having fun. No shade, Kali. We're just having a good time. We love you. We thank you for being out there and continuing to do the things you do. But dang, bro, that background is noisy. So we're going to go to this. It's a little easier on the eyes. So that's like one of the first things that I do when it comes to Kali. But let's jump in and just kind of see what's going on. Actually, first off, let me ask you guys this question: are you a Kali user, like on a regular? Typically, for me, I'll tip my hand, put my cards on the table. Typically, for me, I do tend to use Kali. It does. I forced myself to use Parrot for a year. I was like, I'm not going to use Kali at all. I'm only going to use Parrot because I want to be able to say, and I might do that again very soon but not for a year. I might go a quarter of a year, like 3 to 4 months, to just go, you know what? Because it's good to really know how it is, what it's like for someone like me, at least, when they're daily driving. And that way I can kind of give you my take on those things. And then it helps you make more informed decisions on whether or not you want to run that. And then, of course, you could do a whole roll your own thing. And a lot of people like that. I've done it. I have absolutely done that. You build yourself some scripts, or you go out to GitHub and you find some. There's one that Pat uses, infosec Pat. I forget the name of it off the top of my head. I wrote it down. He talked about it. If you go back and watch the infosec Pat episode I did for After Dark, he talked about it there. And it's not coming to my head. I hate when that happens. Stupid brain. But I'll have to look that up. I want to mess around with that as well. He tends to like that pretty good, where you just kind of install Ubuntu and then run this script, and it gives you all your hacker tools. I'm just so invested in I know where everything is in Kali. I mean, I tend to nest, right? I find all the things I like this, and I get comfortable, and I'm like, all right, this is where I'm at. This is where I'm gonna sit, and it's hard for me to jump away from it. But let's go to Kali.org, and hello. Oh, I'm zoomed in. That's the problem. There we go. Come on, keep coming. Keep one more. There it is. And look for that blog. And this is where it's going to tell you all the new things that are available. So we'll quickly kind of run through this, because like I said, I'm going to do a proper video rundown on what's new in this version of Kali. So hit that read more if you're following the bouncing ball. And it does have some pretty decent updates to this thing. What's funny is the video I'm thinking about doing, it's going to be an interesting take on this. But now we can kind of zoom back in and see what's going on. So we're adding Packer and Vagrant. Cool. If you want to, you can open that up to see exactly what that's on. So Packer's good for creating VMs for multiple platforms from a single source configuration. That's very nice. I I don't know that I would necessarily be using that from Kali. I don't typically like run Kali on bare metal. It's usually in a VM. So I don't know that I would be creating VMs necessarily using Packer or building and managing them from using Vagrant. But it is there, and if you are running it, cool. You now have that. Then we get into this Nextmon support, or Nexmon, should I say Nexmon? Nexmon is a patched firmware for certain wireless chips. I think specifically people have had trouble with the built-in Wi-Fi on Raspberry Pis, and this is meant to address that. Yeah, right there. Nextmon supports wireless chips are Broadcom and Cypress, which are in various devices, including the Raspberry Pi's inbuilt Wi-Fi and Kali 25.1. We changed that, how we packaged the Raspberry Pi kernel as a bump to a new major version, so that's cool. This is not limited to Raspberry Pis, but if you are running it on Raspberry Pi, that's going to be a big help. Dropping ARM-L. We are announcing that we're also dropping support for ARM-L. Acorn RISC, Little NDN. We are following Debian's footsteps in this decision. I didn't even know about that. I'm not familiar. Configurable VPN IP panel plugin. I have seen this in the previous version. That is kind of nice when I'm doing stuff like Hackthebox, and I want to like, what's my VPN IP again? Oh, gotta pull up the terminal. I know it's so difficult to type in IP-BR-C-A, or not dash, just A. C, but it kind of shows up like that. That is kind of cool to be able to just see that in the panel. What else we got here? New tools. And this is really where the metal meets the meat, right? The fun stuff, the stuff we're all really interested in. So Kaido comes in. So if you get the full ISO, it will be installed. If I'm pretty sure. If not, it's installable. It's now in the repositories. So if you want Kaido installed, you need both the CLI and the desktop. You know, and that does bring up an interesting question. For those of you that use Kaido, so I've only ever, like, I've been a Burp Suite guy for a long time, and Burp Suite is still great. There's nothing wrong with that. I even really like Zap, to be honest with you. But obviously, and then there's Postman, which I've only recently really got my hooks dug into. But Kaido has always just been on the edge. I've just never moved over there and went, you know what? It's Kaido Day. So again, stuff that's on Daniel's thing. Now it's easily installable because it's in the app repositories for Kali. But you need the server and the front end. I find it interesting. And that's one thing I didn't like about Postman is you got to have like a web login to be able to log in, even though it's installed locally. It's like, what are we doing with all this junk, man? Just give me Burp Suite. You just type in Burp Suite and it runs. You hit the Burp Suite icon and it runs. The server and the thing is all there. Do the same thing with Zap. Why do I gotta be where, I've got the server running in the background and now I've got the desktop thing where now I gotta connect to the server? It's like, what are you making me jump through hoops for to use your tool? Just build it all to where when I click a thing, it runs and I have access to the thing I want. Don't make this more complicated than it needs to be. Now, maybe there's a reason behind that. I just don't know what it is, but it is a pain point for me on a lot of stuff where it's like, I've got to run Bloodhound server, and then I can go to the web UI, and then I can log in, and I can. It's like, just make it easy. It's scripts, right? It's not difficult to just pop the browser up for me. You're already writing some. Anyway, I'm backing down. Pixie dust. All right, here's another one. We've got this Detect It Easy tool, which is a file identification thing. I looked at this for a minute, which is this front end thing. I actually even installed it where it says that it's really good for file type identification, popular among malware analysts, security experts, and reverse engineers, supporting signature-based and heuristic analysis die, enables efficient file inspections across a broad range of platforms. So that's a new tool for me. I'll have to check that out and kind of figure out where it sits and where it would be useful and how I can recommend it if it is a useful tool. Going into the AI stuff, of course, it wouldn't be an update without AI at this point. We got Gemini CLI in the apt repository, so you can get that running pretty easily. We've got LLM tools for Nmap, so you can get your LLMs to perform network discovery. We've got MCP Kali server, MCP configuration to connect AI agents to Kali itself. So yes, you got to have that. And that's cool. That's good. It's nice to see that they're staying on top of things as far as what AI is and integrating that into their platform. So it's good to know they're still, at least in some ways, and that's kind of a sneak preview of what I'm thinking about when it comes to my Kali review. Is I want to ask the question: Are they still innovating? Like, is the operating system itself still innovating, or are they just adding new tools to it and taking away older tools that are kind of deprecated? If that is the case, right? Now, it does seem like they are continuing to make improvements as far as support, and that's good, right? Love that. It's excellent work. But like, every time I get a new version of Kali, it doesn't seem like it, when they had even though it was kind of cheesy and a bit of a gimmick where they had that, remember when they came out with you can make it look like a Windows desktop? That was neat. That was kind of fun, right? Remember the fun in doing this offensive security, OffSec. Don't forget that part. Yes, it needs to have support. Yes, it needs to be able to work. But to kind of excite us and make us enjoy the experience again, make sure you put some neat stuff. Like I said, add some new backgrounds, make them fun, give us something funny. That kind of stuff. So that's what I kind of want to talk about with that video as we go through the things that are kind of what we're doing today. But yeah, lots of stuff going on there. What am I doing? I'm hitting the wrong buttons. Interesting things. Really cool. I look forward to kind of diving into this. There's a lot of neat tools. That's a neat one. This V Wi-Fi, it's basically like a virtual Wi-Fi dummy that you can set up. Very cool stuff. So a lot of interesting changes, I think, that are in here as far as when I say changes, additions. That's a better way of putting it. New tools, and that is what we do. Like, that's the big thing we do look forward to with a new Kali release, is that they're adding new tools to the repositories. Not that you couldn't just go install those things before. It's not like they're making these tools necessarily. They're just making them available and making sure that they are supported by the Kali system. And that's cool. We like that. Let's jump into the chat. Let me do this. Always trying to make the experience here worth a while. Let's see what you guys are saying, because I've been bloviating for a hot minute here. Let's get into this. All right, so I know it's going to jump to the bottom. Thank you, jumping to the bottom. Am I planning to do a CEH course? Short answer, yes. Let's see here. Not a lot out there. I'd love to follow you through the process. Cool. Yeah, that could be fun. Black Shell, what's up, Black Shell? I'm going through the security portion of Net Plus right now. I was surprised at how easy some attacks are to initiate. All it takes is the right tool. I thought it'd be more difficult. Yes, sometimes it is point and click, especially with things like Metasploit. Sometimes it's not, right? I miss IT Pro TV. You and me both. You and me both. Let's see here. Stupid braid. Yeah, stupid braid. Let's see here. Am I planning to go to B-Sides St. Pete? I want to. I haven't bought a ticket yet. I don't know why I've been sleeping on. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to make it. I really have to look at my schedule. If I can, yes, I'm going to. I will get with you on that in Discord. But I will be at B-Sides Orlando tomorrow. So if anybody's going to be there, I look forward to seeing you there. Going to be hanging out with like KevTech and InfoSec Pat. I think James McQuiggan might be there. Got a lot of people that is going to be. That's going to be a good time. Last year was great. I really enjoyed it. Furious George, can you recommend some Certs learning material for people interested in blue team skills? That's a good question. We'll come back to it. Right now, off the top of my head, Security Blue Team has some great stuff out there. TCM has some good blue team stuff as well. Hackthebox has stuff. It used to be I would just go, yeah, CISO Plus, right? And that's still a good cert. Nothing wrong with it. It's got a great pedigree. A lot of people know it, recognize it. It's got great brand recognition. But nowadays, you've got much more options. So you got to look and see what exactly do you value, or what value am I going to get out of which cert that I get? And that's a one-size-fit-one solution that I would have to like sit down with you and answer. FedEx, Question more like for labs, you use that microcomputer you got because it's a one-time cost, but some people prefer to build labs on the cloud. Yeah, going back to his question, there's so many flavors and prices. Yeah. I mean, you just got to kind of do your research and do your homework on that. I just tend to stick with AWS. Kathy Chambers, good to see you. RJ Missile, I'd play with any video game, watch any movie with you, voicing the main character. Cool. That's fun to know. Thank you. I appreciate that. Your YouTube Discord, why does it change? Is that what's happening here? Hold on, kids. Hold on. I'll go grab it because that's straight garbage. I put it in. It's like, if it's changing, why is it changing? All right, so I'll just have to make sure that when I make the show, when I actually create the live events, that I will. Where's the stinking invite button? Oh, it's hidden. Okay, use the copy button. Now it's hiding. It's Discord. I don't know what you do, Discord. I'm going to drop that link here in the chat for you good folks. There you go. Amish Brain, you now have a good and working link. We look forward to seeing you in the Discord there. I swear, Discord loves to Discord, doesn't it? Discord be Discording. And it's fun, but man, I don't know. Anywho, I've got my challenges with Discord. Let me get Discord out of my way now. Let's see here. Okay, cool. So we've covered Kali. We'll get back down to the beginning here. The Discord links expire. Okay, good to know. I don't know why they would. What's the purpose of that? Yeah, anyway. So that you can't, that people don't come into your channel? How dare they? FedEx says you need to be in St. Pete. Pat and I will be there. Cool. FedEx is going to be in the house. Looking forward to you. There's KevTech in the house right there. See you tomorrow, brother. Looking forward to it. Bloviate, such a great word. Yeah, it's a fun one, isn't it? All right. So I'm caught up with chat. That's good stuff. Discord is discordant. James McQuiggan, what is going on, my man? Good to see you in chat too. All right, so let me see here. I did have a couple of stuff I thought. Oh, yes, I forgot. Hold on. Furious George has a question. Going back to his question, he says, "Is there an A+ type of cert for blue teaming? Is that Sec Plus? With my fundamentals training finishing up, would like a buffet style for learning?" Yes, Sec Plus is kind of that. Sec Plus is going to be that, hey, you know a bit about networking, you know a little bit of operating systems and hardware and troubleshooting, you're ready to move into the security space. And this is why so many of us for so long has always said, hey, don't sleep on your Security Plus. It is a good thing to go get. It kind of introduces you to the smorgasbord of security, from just defensive things to offensive things to some of the terminology. It gets you acclimated to the security waters. And it's done a really good job of that throughout the years. So that's why most of us are like, yeah, Security Plus, we like it. Where the problem comes in is when people say, get your Security Plus and get a 6-figure job. And it's like, wrong-o, that's what we like to call, where's Maury Povich with his card going, the lie detector has determined that was a lie. And you're like, oh, I told you, like that kind of thing. That is not true. Here's the fun facts about Security Plus. It's a good cert, introduces you to a lot of great security concepts, practices, so on and so forth, right? It does make you eligible for some government work because it's 8140 DoD approved, right? So that opens up opportunities for you if you have the ability to get access to opportunities in government space. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get that job. It just makes you eligible to be someone that they might give a call to. That's the real thing about it. If you don't have it, you're not eligible. Now, there are other certs that give you that eligibility as well, right? So you just have to understand what's going on, what the reality and what the truth is around the Security Plus. I really like the Security Plus. I've taught it. I've seen people succeed with it. I've seen people use it to their advantage. I've seen people get, the boulevard of broken dreams because they thought I get my Security Plus and I'm going to be able to get into cyber. That is not necessarily a true statement. That can happen. It is not a guarantee that it will happen. So real truth right here, bro. That is your foundational cert. And now it has competition with things like the Google security certification. That is starting to gain a really good traction in the space as well. Kind of does the same kind of thing. Some people like it over Security Plus, but you got the pedigree. You got to do your weighing. You got to do your analysis, your pros and cons list of whether or not you want to go with the Google cert or do you want to go with CompTIA cert. How does that work? That's up to you. And then from there, you start to figure out, do I want to be like a SOC analyst, DFIR? What do I want to do? Do I want to be in offensive type of security where I'm doing vulnerability assessments, analysis? Do I want to do vulnerability management systems? Do I want to get into pen testing? Do I want to do web app? Then you start to niche down and you start to get to, if you really want to continue to show your skills, you grab a couple of certs in those veins as well. But that Security Plus is always and has always been a really good foundational cert, giving you the broad brush of here is what security is. Here are the many veins in which you could kind of go down. So I like that question. Great question. Now let me draw. Oh, now I got chat popping. We got to go back to chat now. You see, this is the organic conversation we tend to have. Let's see here. Oh. Where are we going here? Okay, here we go. Victor Rosa, I hold my CompTIA A+ to Sec+ for like 10 years. I considered that I am ready to lean toward a more vendor-specific security cert like Microsoft SC Series. Opinion, nothing wrong with that, right? Starting to niche and start to figure out where your lane is a great way to go, Victor. That is exactly what you should be doing. If you're really Microsoft-centric in what you do and where you think that I can really show my skills and become a useful tool in that space, that's exactly what you do. Let's see here. Tech Grunt says, fun fact, when Discord stops working, Daniel Lowry doesn't refresh. He stares at the screen until the server apologizes. You're darn right. I'm just going to stare at Discord right now. Oh, Discord. There it goes. Good job. Thank you, Tech Grunt. Furious George, thanks, Daniel. I have Sec+ lined up to be my next cert. Crossing fingers. I will write the exam before the end of next year. Kick it, man. Kill that thing. You know what? Maybe that should be the next course I put out there, right? Because I really like helping people get into this, and that's a much broader brush than something like Pentest Plus. Honestly, the reason I started with Pentest Plus was because that's an easy lift for me. But Security Plus I've been promoting it here for the last 5 minutes and throughout my career. Maybe that should be the next. You guys let me know. Do you think I should do Security Plus next for my next course? You drop that in chat. What do you think? James McQuiggan will be looking for me tomorrow. Absolutely. I'll be looking for him too. And when we collide, power will emanate from us like two Super Saiyans. Alice Grimm says, Daniel Lowry's motto, if it doesn't kill me, I'll do it again tomorrow, which he lives by with unwavering enthusiasm. Occasionally, the hospital visits. I do enjoy my nurses. They're such sweet people, taking care of me. Let's see here. We are looking for my name. Okay, KevTech. Discord links do expire. Yeah, unless they make it permanent. I guess that's what I got to do is make it. That's just a ridiculous practice to me. Anyway, that's one man's opinion. Space Tacos, I think the best part about the Google Cybersecurity Cert is the 30% discount they give you to turn around and take the Security Plus. Look at that. Look at that. I love that. Is cool. I didn't know that. I'll selfishly love a Sec Plus course from you, says Furious George. Security Plus is your next course? Yes, please. Christopher Young says Security Plus next. Short answer, yes. Long answer, also yes. Put in lowercase. Great answer. Code Bruce says, my personal opinion is that training for CompTIA Trifecta is oversaturated. We need more training for other certs. Cool. Like what? Put that in there. Put that in the chat. That's another really good question, honestly. Like, what training are you not seeing, or what skills are not being talked about enough or at all that people need? And while, yes, the trifecta's training might be, to your point, oversaturated, how much of it is really good? How much of it is goods? How much of it is, How much of it is, oh, please, not this. Oh my goodness, this is horrible, right? In my estimation, a lot of it has there is definitely some of the really good training out there, Professor Messer, Dion training, so on and so forth. Obviously, back in the IT Pro TV days, we had really good training for that as well. But I've definitely seen some why? Why did we do this? Well, you wasted my money. You wasted my time. I have seen that too. So while, yes, there might be a saturation, that doesn't mean it's good. What I want to do is put out that fire training that makes you go, I did the right thing. This money was well spent. I got excellent value out of this. That is my guiding star. I always train like it was my own, if I was going to take this course, what would I want to see? How would I want it to look? And give that to you. And I make sure that I spend a lot of time and effort. If I got to spend, I literally on 2 episodes in Pentest Plus, just labs weren't working. Things weren't happening. I was talking to Tyler Ramsby about this, for whatever reason. And I think I saw him have the same issue. So I got to talk to him about this with something like proxy chains. I would spend 10 hours building labs, destroying labs, solving issues that were, sometimes that happens, so that I could demonstrate a specific thing, building Active Directory environments, creating all the necessary problems that you would need to be able to actually exploit something just for a 20-minute episode. That's how I roll. I don't just go hand wavy. Sometimes you have no choice but to do that. And I hate when that happens. And I always call that out when I remember to go, hey, this is kind of conceptual. I'm going to do my best to put some tangibility to this, to add some context. That's where I go. There's Tyler right there. What's up, Tyler? Yeah, I was watching you do your AD stuff the other day. Great stuff, by the way. Loved it. You were doing pivoting. And I saw you do the, you were using proxy chains, and it was doing what it was doing to me, which was showing you filtered, even though you had access to it. And I don't know why I was doing that, but Legolo NG does not care. It's what up, player? Here's your stuff. Proxy chains. Forget about that. So really cool stuff there. Where were we, man? I feel like I got off track with this. I was losing my mind. Skills needed, soft skills for the win. You know what? I'm writing that down. Thank you, Space Tacos. Soft skills course. Not a bad idea right there. Thank you much. Compliance training, says David Tui. It's not necessarily my space per se. We'll see, but definitely a good recommendation. Compliance training could probably be a really good idea. Obviously, AI is something I got to get into. Messer and Dion training have A+, Sec+, pretty well locked down. Yeah, they could use the competition, right? Here's the fun fact. Competition only benefits the consumer because it drives down prices and makes it competitive, and the quality has to go up. So I'm about to, if I do a Security Plus, it's going to have to make them retaliate to that, right? They would have to go, dang, that was good training. What can we do to make our training as good? Or maybe it's just, I'm not everybody's cup of tea, right? And Dion's training is not everybody's cup of tea. And Professor Messer's not everybody's cup of tea. Now you get options. You can figure out, well, I just like this person better. I like their training better, even though these other 2 options are fire as well. It's just, I resonate with this more. So you end up finding your audience, and the audience ends up finding you. So it's cool to have those options available for everybody. So let's see here. From Tech Grunt, since Sec Plus 701 is going to retire in late 2026, so then plan to do content for the 801 cert. I could do both. For the people that are studying now, I could probably spin that up within next couple of months. So for the people that are studying now, I could give them training for that and then just redo it when it revs. You should do CISA. Yes, that's definitely on my roadmap of things that I want to get done. So thank you, Ryusek, for the reinforcement. that's something I should be doing. Need that CISA Plus and CAS Plus. Yeah, got to get into that as well. I like who was it that was saying you got to rebuild? I think it was Abe. He's like, got to rebuild the empire, right? At least Discord works and it's not a printer problem. Just get that. You're right. Okay, cool, man. We are having a great conversation today. Enjoying. Yeah, AI training needs to be hit. Absolutely, I got to get into that, no doubt. Linux Plus would be awesome, says Tech Ricky. No doubt. I could do that. I could definitely do Linux Plus and LPIC, that kind of stuff. Kathy says, options are good. I'm very picky when it comes to instructors. Also, Daniel, don't do compliance training. I think you would hate that. She's probably not wrong. Kathy knows me oh too well. Holy crap, we've only got 10 minutes left. Alice is asking me about CEUs. I'm not into that yet. I don't know that I will, honestly. It seems a bit complex, the little bit I've looked into it. So I'm just a one-man show right now. There's a lot that has to be done, and I am busier than a one-legged man in a butt-kicking contest, if you know what I mean. So I'll have to, that's going to be a nice to have down the road, but eventually it will make it to the plate, and we will get it figured out. So right now, it's just not in the works. Okay, one thing I definitely wanted to show you good folks. Let me grab this. Bing. Copy clean link. And let's go here as well. Get that out of our way. Do this. Let's go here. I got this website. Mike Holcomb. I was looking at LinkedIn, as I do. Follow me on LinkedIn. Give me a connect. Absolutely. I connect with people that want to connect with me. But he dropped this, and it looks super cool. Literally, this is, I just opened it up to make sure it would work, but this is so cool. Yes, allow cookies. I don't care. Booyah. This is a nuclear power plant lab. How cool is this thing, right? I'll just give a nickname of Nick. Yeah, next, sure. Your name, Nick. Are you a teacher? Yes, I guess so. Oh my goodness, let's skip this. I just want to play. Just skip to play. Okay, cool. Let me kind of, whoa. Okay, how to play, right? So you get this OT ICS lab to play around with a nuclear power plant, right? And it tells you what to do. Like literally, this is my first look at this. So you're getting basically a reaction video at this point. All right, to play, use the control panel to operate the reactor. First, you must switch on the coolant pumps. Once the coolant has reached 209 degrees Celsius, you will be able to move to step 2. Tip, you can explore the reactor at any time during the game by clicking the 2D diagram and selecting individual components. All right, so we got to find coolant pumps and switch it to on. Tap. I'm clicking. I can't. Oh, maybe I got to. Okay, that does this. I don't know if what's going on here. I can't actually. I'm literally clicking that right there. Am I doing the wrong thing? Wasn't it coolant pumps? You can explore the reactor at any time during the game by clicking the 2D diagram. All right, do you guys see 2D diagram? My resolution might not be what it's supposed to be. Hold on here. Do you know that you can also operate the control rods and steam generator? Anyway, I only really just wanted to kind of show you this. I'm going to play with this, probably do a video on it. What happens if I do this? Oh yeah, that's just that. What is going on here? I'm going to do that and see what happens. All right. But it just won't let me click on that for whatever reason. Let's go. Oh, that's what I got to do. Booyah. Let's go. Cool. Oh, look at all that stuff, man. This is so fire. Okay. I can't read what's going on, so. Oh, dude, look at this. Look at all this stuff. This is so cool. Okay, so obviously we've got stuff to do after the show is over, but I'll leave you to that. I'm going to drop this link here. Copy that. Put that in chat. Paste. There you go. And thank you, Mike Holcomb. If you're not familiar with Mike, definitely go check out his YouTube. .com, or I mean just YouTube, Mike Holcomb ICS. I gotta get Mike on After Dark. That's what I gotta do. Utilsec. There's the man, the myth, the legend right there. He's got great resources for anyone that is interested in OT, ICS. Paste. There you go. Booyah. Go give him a follow, give him a like, give him a subscribe, whatever you got to do. Give him what he needs. And because he's always doing great stuff for the community. So much fun. Man, how cool is that? Let's get back to bringing the chat up. Where are you, chat box? There you are. Yes, come back to me, precious. And now I can talk to you, good folks. Yeah. Phil Stapper says, no, it shouldn't be fire at this point. He's absolutely right. In a real nuclear facility, fire is the enemy. We want no fire, zero fire, fire bad. Carrie asking where the site is. That should now be in the chat for you. Need a link to this power plant sim. Yeah. Chernobyl simulator. No. Hopefully not. Here's the hazmat team. Let's see here. Fun fact, Daniel Lowry likes to sing his favorite song like Macklemore, I'm going to pop some shells. I'm going to pop some shells. Yeah. I got one payload in my pocket. Oh, bro, that is so funny. That is great stuff right there. Now you just got to get AI to actually make the tune and drop that in Discord so we can all listen to it. That would be so much fun. We can make that. Because it's AI generated, there's no copyright on it. It's a parody. We could actually play it on the stream. Let's see here. Code Brew, Alsgrim, yes, 150 a year due to when you renew. Oh, we're talking about CPEs. Yeah. I assume more training would bring more creds. Would bring in creds, but you're saying that I only have to submit once. Oh yeah, talking more about CPEs. Space Taco says they're picky about teachers as well. Partly because I was one for too long. Yeah. For so long. I'm sorry. Not too long, but for so long. Oh, good stuff. You guys are so funny. I really enjoy doing this show with you all. Chernobyl simulator. That just makes me laugh over here. Space Tacos, please teach your next course in an accent. Yeah, that could be fun. Should we do it over there in the Bob? Okay, so here's the thing about the CIA triad. You're going to need to learn about confidentiality first, because without the confidentiality, well, then your stuff's just all hither and thither. And am I right there, Bob? Oh, you're totally right there, Stan. Without the confidentiality, you're just losing your mind all over the place. Or do it Scottish. Right, so now we move to integrity and availability. Those things there, without them. Non-repudiation is a thing that if you're not paying attention to, you're just going to get caught by it. That's just how it works. Having a good time. Ryusek. We got a couple minutes left to have a little fun, right? Ryusek says, I'm sorry for the throwback. A couple of weeks ago, you were playing with a pseudo pentest platform you talked about on stream. What was it? A pseudo pentest platform. What was I talking about? I'm trying to think. I know I did a hack the box. I did Expressway, which is one of their boxes that are available right now to go play around with, and it did have a sudo vulnerability in it. That was kind of fun. Cat Grunk says, request the song Hold My Monster. You're darn right. I will sit here patiently. Cannot wait for that to drop in the Discord. If anybody can do it, it is definitely TechGrunt. Let's see, our code we're talking about the list on their site of other vendor certs, how many CEUs. Good conversation about CEUs. Anything else? Okay, cool. Strange Brew. I'm sorry, TechGrunt says Strange Brew, me, cybersecurity equal. Strange Brew plus Daniel Lowry plus cybersecurity equals the best teaching lecture ever. That's funny. Oh, hey there, hoser. Yeah, do it in Canadian, right? Oh, there, hey, we got to put this on the, you know, the thing there, but that's none of my business, I guess. Sorry if you don't like it, but if you don't learn about CIA, then yeah, you're in for a bad time there, eh? Well, this is fun, kids. We've had a good time today. I really appreciate everybody dropping by. If you're in the mood for that Pen Test Plus, you know what to do. If you like the show, you know what to do. Like and subscribe. Do all the fun stuff. Hit that notification bell. We do this every Friday. So if you got some value, give me a follow. And talk to me in the chat. Right? We can continue this conversation by either in Discord or in the comments below. Fun fact, YouTube really likes it when you guys talk in the comments and you hit that little thumbs up thing. That thing right there does so much for the channel. And that's just a little ask for me that you go find that there and you go click, liked this. This was fun. And then we'll do it again next week. And that'll be fun. Hopefully I got some other great stuff to show you there. And we're going to have great conversation with you in the chat. I really enjoy doing this with you all. And I thank you so much, all of you, for hanging out with me every Friday. Tell your friends, let's get some new blood in here. You know, we gotta expand the reach, get some new people so we can have even more interesting conversation and bring some people. And hopefully we're giving them value. That's what we're trying to do. Thank you again. Until next time, keep hacking.